So today was really challenging, and I've been wanting to do a garden update video because my tomatoes have been turning red for a couple of days now, and it's just been so hectic and I haven't been able to come out and do it, but I'm just forcing myself to do it today because I really need to decompress. There's a lot going on. I'm sure all 6 of my subscribers know exactly what I'm discussing, and I'm not gonna go into it any further. Let's just get into the garden. We've talked about that shit enough today. So my tomatoes are turning red. Ah, that's the highlight. Let me flip this around. Okay, so I'm surprised. These are the early girl tomatoes. These 2 back here, that they're turning red at the same time as the beefsteaks and these Rapunzel tomatoes. And these things, like, I didn't know this, but you gotta be really careful when you're touching it. I thought that they were kind of more secure than they are. They just kind of, the tomatoes just lop off. See that one down there? It fell off while I was pruning. I think you can see where it was. So anyway, things are coming along. I've got a lot of tomatoes coming in. I just picked a couple more zucchini. Do y'all see that powdery looking stuff? I think that's powdery mildew. And I'm gonna have to get some baking soda out here, I think is what the solution that I read for it. But yeah, my green zebras are doing really well. And I've got some more up here that are just starting to come in. I don't know if you saw the post about my rabbit that was out here. He was just out here about 20 minutes ago. And he eats these clovers that I planted up over here. So whenever he comes out, he's like really close. So that's my back porch, and like, ignore my kid's little kitchen. I gotta clean that thing, but that's my back porch. And then this is where he eats. And then there's another spot across the yard where he goes and he munches as well. It was really cool to come out here and see them. And then, oh, I started my straw bales. It's been really rainy lately, so I decided to put down the fertilizer to start conditioning the straw, so that once my herb garden, which is up front right now because the light is better, once that is conditioned and ready to plant into, I'm gonna put the herbs back here. So it's really funny because I've noticed there's grass sprouting up in the straw, and I don't know, I guess there were seeds inside of it. I didn't know that there would be like grass seeds of all things, but I'm not too worried about it. I don't understand how it got in there unless it's seeds, because I read in one place where you put down a plastic bag underneath and it keeps the weeds and stuff from growing up into the bale. But obviously I've got some grass, so I don't know, maybe it was seeds. Okay, and then come and look at my peppers. So I'd had some problems over here because the squirrels get into my, I don't know if you can see behind me, they get into my box that John built me, and they eat my plants, my basil especially, but they've seemed to leave the peppers alone. These are banana peppers, and oh, there's a bug on it. Ew. What's that? Look, I love gardening, but I hate bugs. They creep me out. So anyway, I guess he's over here getting his little evening on. But those are my 2 banana peppers, and then I've got these sweet peppers over here, which these aren't as ready. The banana peppers, I could pick this one, at least I could pick this one right now. And I don't know if you all remember, but I had to cut this plant back so much because it rained and rained and rained for a few weeks ago, and this box got oversaturated with water, and it like started to yellow and droop the leaves of my plant. So that's why it's kind of like measly looking down bottom. It's looking a little naked down here. But I've got a lot more blooms coming in, so soon hopefully I'll have some more banana peppers. And these, like I was saying, this one here I could pick right now, but I read that if you leave it on there, it'll start to turn red, and I really want to see that. So I'm going to let this one grow up more, and I'll pick this one when it's that color. But this, I want to see if it turns red. I'll give it maybe another week or so. I don't want it to go bad because that's the first banana pepper I've ever grown, and I'd like to eat it. And then my basil, I cut back. This is Genovese basil, and this is mammoth basil. I don't know, the way that I tell the difference is because the leaves. Completely different. And it's funny because I was just out here wondering if maybe these two had cross-pollinated. Can you see how those leaves are different on this plant? See, this is how they come in, the Genovese basil here. And then this is the mammoth basil with the ridged leaves. But some of my Genovese basil is starting to have these ridged leaves. And I don't know if it's just because they're smaller. But see, these up here are definitely like sizable. Just to like gauge it on my finger. They're sizable to the other natural leaves that like look like Genovese basil should. So, but these are ridges and they look like this basil over here. So even though I pluck the blossoms when it comes, I think maybe, you know, it got kind of cross-pollinated, and I don't know, I could totally just be really, really wrong, because at the end of the day, all my gardening stuff, I just know from like watching YouTube videos and just like doing it as I go, like learning as I go. So I know that cross-pollination is a thing, but I haven't really Googled like, oh, whether basil actually does it. And then I wanted to show, oh well, I just stirred up my compost here. So that dirt on top, beneath that is like this really rich, dark, musty soil. And it's just broken down food that I've been putting in there maybe for the past like 3 months. So hopefully when I do my fall planting for the in the ground, like for the pumpkins and the watermelon and the cucumber going, oh, and the okra as well, when those go in the ground, I will have some compost to help fertilize the soil. And so now I'm up front, and I'm really excited to show this because these are my sunflower seedlings. So John just dug out this little patch for me, and I planted, is this one? I don't know what this is. Yeah, it's a weed. I planted in rows like this, and they came out kind of scattered because not every single seed germinated, obviously, but I just put them up here toward the front of the plot because the sun hits faster. If you can tell the difference, you see how big how tall that seedling is versus like this one right here? That height difference is because that seedling back there is not getting the same amount of light, and it's growing really, really fast to try and catch more of the light. It's called being leggy, which means you just have a long stem. You're stretching towards the sunlight. Anyway, so down here I have my little pots. I planted these maybe 2 weeks ago now. I think this Saturday will be 2 weeks. So I've got quite a few seedlings that are up out here as well. And let's flip this around and I can show you my little herb garden. This is the basil, these two little guys. Here we go. This is my Dixie Queen watermelon. Those are the lemon cucumber sprouts. Those are tomatoes, big rainbow. Those are slicer tomatoes, like the beefsteaks. Look at these pumpkins. So what I'm gonna do is when the second batch of leaves comes up, I'm gonna thin that out. And then look at this, the cilantro. The herbs are the only thing I'm not gonna thin out because they can grow really well in close proximity. I mean, herbs are basically like a weed that tastes good, so I don't know if that's science. It might not be, but and then they can grow in close proximity, so I'm not gonna thin those. Like, that's fine, but I'm not gonna have 4 pumpkin patches. I might keep 2 of those 4 seedlings, because those pumpkins are big max pumpkins, and they're gonna get to 30 pounds if I can get them the right amount of sunlight and all that stuff. If I grow them perfectly, they'll be 30-pound pumpkins. So I might need like 2 of those. And then the okra, I don't know if you saw, there's one little seedling that's got some bites taken out of it. It's really funny because I think there's little bugs that are out here and they come into the little pot and they munch. This morning I came out and I saw that, oh look, I'm sweating. It's hot out here, you guys. Like, I mean, I don't even know what time it is. It must be about 7 o'clock, 7:30, and it's still like 80 degrees, and I'm so happy. Like, I'm not ever gonna complain about the heat, because for like 8 months out of the year, it's fucking freezing. So anyway, what was I saying? So yeah, so I think some bugs get into my little pots and they munch my plants, and I wanted like 2 okra plants, so I planted 4 just in case. And when I came out this morning, some of my tomatoes, like that I had planted 2 weeks ago, only had 1 seedling that had germinated and come up, and I was like, this is weird. So I played around in the dirt a little bit. I don't know if you're supposed to do this, but I did it. My hands were clean, whatever. So I found that they had rooted and the top of it had been nipped off. And I was like, I wonder if that stupid rabbit that I'm totally fine feeding in my backyard has been like nipping around up front and munching the tips of my tomato seedlings. Because once he bites the it's just 2 little leaves. Let me show you. You see that? Just those 2 little leaves on a tomato seedling. And if the bunny eats those 2 little leaves, the poor little seedling can't photosynthesize the light, so it's just gonna die. It doesn't even matter that the root is in there. I mean, the root will continue to root, but I don't think any more leaves will grow because the plant needs sunlight. So anyway, but again, like, I'm not like a master at this at all. So I left the seedlings that had been nipped off in the pot just because I want to see, like, I wonder if this will regrow. And I just put down some more seeds, so in 2 weeks I'll have hopefully some sprouts. And when I start to see those come up, instead of leaving them here, I'm gonna move them maybe to like another area, because I have seen little bunny out around in the front yard when I've been driving by, but predominantly in the backyard, so I thought it was safe. So anyway, I am all done. That's my garden update. I will try and do another one when I actually get to harvest my tomatoes. I'm really, really excited and impatient. That's why that one fell off, because I was down there like, are you ready? Can I prune something to make my tomatoes sweeter? The only other thing that I'm gonna do between now and maybe the next 2 weeks it'll take for them to ripen, I think that's about how long it's taken since they've gotten the right size, and now they're turning red. So anyway, I'm gonna, I mixed a tablespoon of molasses with some water, and I'm gonna spray it on the leaves, and it feeds them and gives them some sugar, and it's supposed to make the tomatoes really, really sweet and juicy. So we'll see. I will do another video soon. Bye.